Have you ever wondered what alchemy, the Mad Hatter, and gold have in common? Well, the answer is mercury. Mercury is a shiny, silvery liquid metal. Its name comes from the Roman god Mercury, who had qualities of speed and mobility, just like the mobile liquid metal. Mercury is one of just two elements to be liquid at room temperature. Its symbol, Hg, comes from the Greek word hydrogarum, meaning liquid silver. Mercury's use and discovery dates back to 2000 BCE. Elemental mercury was known to the ancient Greeks, Romans, Chinese, and Hindus. The Greeks used it in medicines, ointments, and cosmetics. The Romans used it as a form of makeup, and they used the mercury mines as penal institutions for criminals. The Chinese centered their study of mercury on the search for an elixir of life, and the Hindus used mercury to make religious relics. Mercury's bright red ore, cinnabar, has been employed as a pigment since Neolithic times. What's interesting is that each civilization had its own legends about mercury. Although it's beautiful, mercury is deadly. Mercury is a long-term neurological poison for humans and other organisms. It can cause tremors, extreme mood changes, loss of hearing, restricted vision, damage to the liver and kidneys, and mental derangement. Due to geological processes like volcanic eruptions and human activity like coal-fired power generation and gold production, mercury is released into our environment and is a growing issue that has led to the movement for the Minamata Treaty, whose goal is to curtail mercury pollution. Mercury is one of the few elements that reacts with gold. In mines, mercury is used to recover minute pieces of gold that are mixed into soil and sediment. Mercury and gold react to form an amalgam. Gold is then extracted by boiling off the mercury. Mercury's relationship with gold was especially interesting to many ancient alchemists. In the ancient art of alchemy, mercury, sulfur, and salt were the Earth's three principal substances. In fact, the Hindu word for alchemy is rasasuddhi, meaning knowledge of mercury. While alchemists in different cultures had different beliefs, one of the central themes to European alchemy was the belief that the correct combination of mercury and other ingredients would yield riches of gold. When released into bodies of water, microorganisms transform mercury into a highly toxic organic molecule called methylmercury, which is readily absorbed into the bodies of algae and plankton. Methylmercury travels up the food chain as smaller organisms are eaten, and in the process, the toxic chemical becomes increasingly concentrated. When the food chain eventually reaches humans, we grow very sick. Methylmercury produces a much more devastating human illness than inorganic mercury. In fact, in areas in Asia, there have been multiple cases of outbreaks of this type of illness. In the felt hat industry in Europe, an association was made between mercury treatment of the fibers and an improved felt. Eventually, the use of solutions of mercuric nitrate was widespread in the felt industry, and mercury poisoning became endemic as a result. Many hatters developed a reputation for madness associated with this poisoning, giving rise to the saying, "mad as a hatter," which is where Alice in Wonderland's character, the Mad Hatter, comes from. There are many risks associated with the use of mercury, which is why there's so much controversy over its use. Today, mercury is used in very small amounts in laxatives and antidepressants, as well as in thermometers, teeth fillings, fluorescent light bulbs, alkaline batteries, electrical switches, and other scientific and medical devices.